Welcome, my name is Thomas and this is Smarthome-Training. This video is part of a video online training that I present to you for free. New videos will be published every week, but if you can't wait so long, please go to smarthome-training.com and use the offer code SMARTPeople to get a discount. This is just one of the ways to support me. You can also become a Patreon and please check the tiers, they are really great. But now, enjoy today's lesson. Yeah, welcome to this video here. You will see the system has run through different commands, installed things, settings things, and so on, adding openHAB and adding openHAB dashboard and so on. So it did a lot of things yet that you simply got by using openHABian. So that is a big advantage of this install package, this image that has been created. And you can see it here. I'm just looking at the minutes because the time zone has changed and the, let's say, actual time has been pulled from the internet. You can see here 53 minutes and we ended up by 28 and it's about 15 minutes that it took to set up the system. So that was very fast. And now you're ready to log in again to this Raspberry Pi. As you can see here, this one has not moved. It stands here and said adding an openHAB dashboard type for Frontail. And you can simply check by opening another session. I go to PuTTY, and for example, when I say here openHABian Pi again, you also can save this in PuTTY. For example, if you say smart home, something like that, and say save, you will get an entry here. And you can simply double click it. This login screen will appear again. It's openHABian still. And password also openHABian. And now you can see here, we have this openHABian logo. openHABian is running. So it's the first time we started. We can see here the version of our system. And what we want to do in this session, I will simply use this, drag it a bit bigger. We want to use this command, sudo openHABian config. And so by just marking this one with your left mouse button pressed, you can mark this little sentence here. It will be copied and you can do a right click. So sudo openHABian config, that is the command to change some settings on your Raspberry Pi. And you can see here you will have to put in your password again. It's still openHABian. Oh, mistyped. So openHABian, you can see here, okay, now it's loading this kind of menu. You can see here some information about openHABian in the first line. You are able to do an update or an upgrade on the system. This will lead to executing special commands here on the Raspberry Pi. We have an openHAB stable version at the moment, and you can install and upgrade to the latest stable version here. You can apply improvements. Every time, that's a hint from my side, you have this little arrow here, then you will get a sub menu when you go there. So optional components as well, you can install optional software components, you can go here to system settings, you can install openHAB related stuff, there's a backup and restore path as well. You have a manual fresh setup, so you can just start from zeros, let's say, and you have help. You can execute and you can exit. What you will do is you will simply use your arrows on your keyboard to navigate through this menu. And as I said, system settings, this is very important for me at the moment. You can see here it's a host name, openHABian Pi, and I want to change this host name. I want to simply call it openHAB. And you can see here you have to reboot your system so the changes take place. We go there again to system settings, because the second thing you have to do is change your password. And you can here use it to change it for the different purposes. So for the Linux system, that is the one we are now logged in, so using SSH, there's an openHAB console. It's a so-called Karaf console. You can check bundles there, what things are installed, but that is too much for a beginner course here. Just to let you know, there is a console and you can change this password as well. At the beginning it's openHAB. Then you have Samba share. That is important just to access your files. We will do this in a couple of videos. Connect to our Raspberry Pi folder where our configuration is in, and then begin to edit those files. So on that is also openHABian at the moment. And we have this Amanda backup. We will simply just use every let's say element here, and now you can use a new password. So I will use one, and you should also use a good one, let's say at least uppercase character, lowercase character, some numbers, and yeah, you're ready to go. This is something I wanted to show you. You have to put in at least 10 characters. That is very good, I think, because it will be harder to hack your password. And so we simply put in another one that is a bit longer. And if it's long enough, you can simply retype your password just to make sure. And now you can see it's changing the passwords here: Linux, Samba, openHAB. And now what is happening, the system, the openHAB system will be restarted, going back. What we also could do is openHAB related stuff. You can see you should go here to this point, remote console, bind the openHAB SSH console to all external interfaces. Yeah, you can see it here, and now it is asking for a password again. Yeah, and you can see here this will bind interfaces and so on, and you have to use a secure password again. It's important, only letters and numbers. So please do not use any special characters, simply numbers, uppercase, lowercase. So after that as well, openHAB again is restarting. And you can see here we're back, and here this message is explaining it. You can use SSH again to connect to this console, and I just want to show you how we do that. Yeah, so at the moment you have to change, I will just say it, you have to change your host name later on, because now we have changed it, but I will show you just a minute. So at the moment we are using openHABian Pi, yeah, and you can see here port is 22, but if you want to go there, if you want to check something, say port 8101, you can see it here. Yeah, and you can see it is taking time to connect, because here it is written, please be aware that the first connection attempt may take a few minutes or may result in a timeout due to key generation. So there is a key is generated to connect, to securely connect, and you can see it here. It takes time. So after that you will get a login again, and you can log in with your user and the password that has been given. But as I said, it's too much for this beginner course. I would simply close that. We will end the session, and then you can hit OK. Yeah, other things, we don't need them at the moment, because let's say if we have something we will use later on, for example, I can tell you, if you're using Z-Wave, maybe you have to do some port settings. We will do this especially in this section that is related to this topic, because otherwise you forget, and we will do it on the point when we need it. So that's it for the moment. I will simply exit, and what we have to do as the last step, we have to reboot our Raspberry Pi, because you remember that was one of the steps, changing the host name. The command is sudo reboot. Simply hit enter, and now you can see, okay, it has been disconnected from the network, so this has been closed. And another tip from my side, you have this little symbol here. You can go there and say restart session. Yeah, so you will see a login as again, and our name is still openHABian, but now you have to put in your new password, please. Yeah, and we're back on the system, and now you can see here, you can see it, there openHAB is a new name, and here openHAB is a new name. So when I want to go to this web page that you can access openHAB on, it's now openHAB and not openHABian. And I can show you, for example, again, PuTTY does not matter, can have different connections. Here, this one, for example, you can load this and then simply get rid of this, save it again, and then you have your openHAB host name now set up. Yeah, because we had openHABian Pi, we changed it now to openHAB. So if I double click here, I will go exactly to the system. You get this warning again because the host name has changed, and you're ready to go. Yeah, that's it. So a little bit longer this lecture. What you've learned is you have learned how to log in to your openHABian Pi again, how to change your passwords, how to set up a host name, and how to bind this Karaf console to this openHAB system. And we will now go through the setup on the openHAB user interface. So stay tuned for the next video. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Please remember, you can buy the whole course right now at smarthome-training.com. You become a Patreon, and you also could subscribe and put on the bell button. That's perfectly fine, so you get notified when the next lesson is uploaded. And I would like to thank you again, say bye-bye, see you next week.